Welcome everyone. This is episode 19 of the Transmaxxing podcast, and today's topic is Detransmaxxing. So there are multiple reasons for why you might want to stop HRT. The most obvious that might come to your mind is that you just find out that transition isn't for you. You might have doubts, you might notice like issues, you might be uncomfortable with how your body is changing. Because in advance it can be hard to know if you actually want and really like to transition. So you might have to actually go on HRT and experience it for yourself to experience the mental changes and everything before you're able to know if transitioning really is for you. And what we do recommend is that when you do start to transition early on and aren't 100% sure, it might be better not to come out to people. You might still continue to as present as male, and then later on as your body changes, you might only then become to come out to people, start girl moding and all that. When you have noticed the changes, you know how HRT changes your brain and everything, and you like it, and you continue with the social transition after that. The other reasons to stop HRT is more temporary. For example, you might stop HRT to bank sperm, you might stop HRT to make your girlfriend pregnant if your girlfriend was born female. There are probably other reasons as well, but I'm not sure exactly why you will do that. There are various ideas that I had regarding this. I'm not sure if they really work. For example, maybe if you go on HRT then stop afterwards, you might be able to for a while get the best of both worlds because you can become strong and fertile while still having a mostly feminine body. And today we actually have a guest, and he actually tried HRT, but then he found out it wasn't for him. So let's start talking now to Sus and ask about his experience.
Hi. So basically, I started upping my gender like 3 years ago, and because of incel, I guess, because I thought I just should be a girl because of some a bit of gender stereotypes that I believe in. And I thought it would just make more sense for me, and I found some Reddits. I found Transmaxxing and I found some various stuff on the internet that convinced me that it would be cool to become a girl.
So yeah, basically what you said happened is it felt awkward because of the incel scene, and then you stumbled across Transmax. Can you tell us your experience of being on hormones and like trying to become a
Mhm.
woman?
Yes. Actually, I was not on hormones that long. I felt relaxed. I felt happier. It turned out I had, unfortunately, some physical pain. When my breasts started growing, they hurt, and my balls also hurt. So I was really doubting. And what I also really liked is that I is like wearing actually women's clothes, like dresses, like trousers from women's section, and I really liked this clothes. Really like myself in these clothes. It was just my style. And I think what ultimately led me to stop was the doubt. Was having doubts, and the doubts could never stop. So I just so I had to figure out myself in a different way, basically.
So what you describe here is that prior to starting HRT you felt like this was a good idea, but then when you noticed the change that you had like second thoughts. Did you notice something like reverse dysphoria where the changes made you like uneasy and uncomfortable?
Yeah, did you feel uncomfortable being as a woman as well? And is that part of the reason why you decided to
I
detransition?
think I liked the new experience of being like a trans woman within some queer space in the city. I really felt validated, and it was tempting to go further. I think I was concerned about possible future health problems and how costly it would be like a complete transition.
So you had this, at least at the time, perception that you needed to do a total transition rather than just HRT, and this will be expensive.
Yeah, like face feminization, like hair removal. Like I have a lot of hair on the body and on the face. And, and also I'm really balding, so it would take a lot of time and lots of voice training for me. I think also around the same time I was going to a group therapy where I did not really come out as a trans woman, but I found a community of people that also had mental problems like me, different. Each person was different, obviously. I think my inceldom was like a big thing that was pushing me into a transition because I hated that men are expected to approach women and to impress women, to be fighting for their attention and so on. And it was and is something really unnatural for me. I would prefer being approached by women or by men. It doesn't matter, actually.
Okay, so you did want to become like a female socially, but then of course to transition it might be a long process if you have like a masculine face. You need a lot of surgery to feminize that. And did you consider the option to, okay, just take HRT and do whatever, and then if I don't pass, I don't pass? Or did you feel like I need to pass as a female, need to do like all these things?
Yeah. So when you first started, did you want to like go all in and like fully pass, or did you ever the thought come up of like just taking HRT and kind of like boy moding and stuff?
I I wanted to kind of like pass as good as possible eventually. After I stopped hormones, I changed my goals actually because I thought that maybe trying to become a woman is too much. I might just embrace some more style because I liked wearing feminine clothes.
Yeah. Now that you've detransitioned and everything, how is life now? How do you feel about like your social life and stuff like that?
So the last year for me was incredibly lucky because I found a lot of support from people, especially women. I have many female friends now. Still validates me like that because I wanted to be a woman at some point, right? So that's also part of what I wanted. Having female friends, I think I'm somewhat more like them than most men. So I think I was lucky, basically.
Do you present feminine or like androgynous now, or do you go for male presentation?
Nowadays, I basically dropped all of that at this point and try to be liked. I'm trying best to be basically liked and being attractive. A few months ago, I got a haircut and I noticed that I'm getting really complimented by women and by men, and that really built me up.
So you feel like you became more attractive without transitioning?
Actually, yeah, I think yes.
Did you get a sexual partner now as a male?
Still not, but it's very possible I might have one soon. I feel like nowadays I'm like catching up to what I've lost because of autism and lack of support as a child. So it's more possible than ever before. I think if I did not attempt transitioning, I think I would not rebuild myself. So maybe that was good in a way. And I found out some stuff that works for me, that doesn't work for me.
Do you have any issues now because you transitioned earlier or tried to? Do you have like any health issues or anything because of the HRT?
I do not have any. Probably because I was on hormones too short for really have big issues. I noticed that after I stopped HRT, I actually have a higher libido than before HRT. Maybe it's also a combination of habits and diet. I'm not sure.
So basically, even though you did try to transition, you didn't really lose anything from it. You don't have any issues really, and you're just doing fine now as a male. So this, I think, should be encouraging for others, because even if you find out HRT isn't for you, you might still be just fine.
Yeah. I think another thing that was driving me was basically I found trans women really, really beautiful. I was fighting for some time to basically not be jealous of them.
Yeah, I noticed that if you try to date trans women as a male, it's an uphill battle because there are so many choices and a lot of trans women are not really interested. So I can see some people is transitioning because of that.
Yeah.
Do you think there was like any lessons or insights you got from transitioning that helped you when you did detransition?
I think that what helped me was like researching more about how autism is like, how bisexualism is like, about various causes that drive people to transition. I tasted a bit how hormones are for women, I guess, because when I was on estrogen, I was definitely calmer and less aggressive. So that gives me a bit of insight into quote marks, human brain, quote marks.
Well, I'll add this. I'm planning on staying on HRT for another 5 years, or 4 to 5 years, and then probably detransition and see if I'm still fertile, and then try to get children that way. That's definitely an option for me, and I'm hoping that stays an option for me. Detransitioning should be like less stigmatized, but since it isn't, it probably is best to just boy mode and then see what you like, and if you don't like it, just detransition. No one really knows. You just stop taking HRT because it wasn't for you.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that there is so much stigma and negativity regarding the transitioning, but as we learned here from start, you can actually be just fine afterwards.
Basically, going to gym regularly again, noticing I have bigger muscles, and since I like muscles on men, I also like seeing this in the mirror. So it's like kind of went the 180 basically.
So you like having muscles. I think this is sometimes called autoandrophilia. And if you experience this, it's like a big sign you should learn to pursue transition from male to female.
Yes.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, I know it's a little bit of a cope to just say it like that, but I've noticed that with like a lot of guys, there's a lot of self-confidence that comes with like going to the gym and working out just because they like to see their body more muscular and stuff, because it probably does play into the autoandrophilia.
And also, proper exercises increase testosterone, and testosterone increases like your mental energy to want to do stuff. So it's something that's to drive itself, basically.
That makes sense.
This marks the end of episode 19 of the Transmaxxing podcast. I hope that you will feel more confident about starting HRT and that you will have an amazing day forward. Have a nice day, everyone.